We're nearly bang on post time. We're just on it now. It looks good. And they're off. First time then for this Randox supports race against Dementia. Topham Handicap chase and jumping the first fence. The Edgar Wallace is the leader, with on the inside last year's winner Bill Baxter. Chartreuse is handy. Shake 'em Up Harry in the blue with the white sleeves, and Classic Getaway on the extreme left is Cardinal, followed by James de Berlais as they jump the second, and all clear the second. Your Darling towards the back with Phlegmatic and also Embittered, and now they head on towards the chair. Bill Baxter on the far side of Shake 'em Up Harry, Classic Getaway, and the Edgar Wallace, and wide of these is James de Berlais. Oh, and Bill Baxter sprawls at the chair and has gone. Blunders and unseats the rider at the chair. Last year's winner is out of the race. Meanwhile, they come towards the water jump, and the Edgar Wallace is just about the leader on the outside of Classic Getaway. Then Shake 'em Up Harry and James de Berlais, Arizona Cardinal, then Kandoo Kid and Life in the Park and Chartreuse. Out wide, Cardinal not really travelling from Frankie de Berlais and Kille Kane, and then Empire Steel, Fantastic Lady right round the inside, Aimé Dégé from Richmond Lake I should say, and then behind these is Good Boy Bobby, Celebre D'allen and Ciel de Neige as they race towards the Melling Road. Amongst the back markers Frero Bamboo with Your Darling, Embittered and Phlegmatic on the inside, and they head towards the next plain fence, racing on towards fence number 5, and coming towards it James de Berlais, Arizona Cardinal and the Edgar Wallace.
As they get over fence number 5, they are all safely over. It's Arizona Cardinal, Classic Getaway, the Edgar Wallace and James de Berlais, the leading quartet. From Kandoo Kid and Chartreuse in the black and orange, and Empire Steel and Life in the Park. From Shake 'em Up Harry, then came Frankie de Berlais as they clear over fence number 6. Phlegmatic was the back marker on touching down, approaching the ditch. And out in front, Classic Getaway from the Edgar Wallace, Arizona Cardinal, Kandoo Kid and Chartreuse. Then James de Berlais and Shake 'em Up Harry, followed by Aimé Dégé. Then Frankie de Berlais, Empire Steel, Celebre D'allen and Good Boy Bobby. Life in the Park losing ground. Ciel de Neige trying to pick up a bit. Then Grandad's Cottage and Frero Bamboo. Kille Kane and Embittered further back there with Your Darling. Then Phlegmatic, and behind Phlegmatic is Richmond Lake. And then Cardinal as they continue their journey down towards Beaches.
Classic Getaway and Patrick Mullins leading the way to the Edgar Wallace, Arizona Cardinal to the outside. One of the greys, Kandoo Kid, is next, followed by Shake 'em Up Harry, Chartreuse in company with Empire Steel. James de Berlais on the far side of the course. Frankie de Berlais is just in behind the leaders in advance of Fantastic Lady, and Aimé Dégé on the inside the red silks as they reach Beaches number 10. And Classic Getaway led there. Kandoo Kid the inside, and the Edgar Wallace, Arizona Cardinal is very handy as the field run towards Foynaven. And it is Classic Getaway, Kandoo Kid, the Edgar Wallace the outside, Shake 'em Up Harry a big jump. Arizona Cardinal is well on the premises ahead of James de Berlais. Chartreuse is handy ahead of Empire Steel, and then Fantastic Lady, Aimé Dégé the inside as they head towards the canal. Cardinal and Life in the Park are going to pull up at the back of the field over the canal turn. A little wide the Edgar Wallace, cutting the corner, Classic Getaway in company with Kandoo Kid, Shake 'em Up Harry, Arizona Cardinal on the outside, then Chartreuse and Fantastic Lady as they reach Valentine's.
And over Valentine's, Kandoo Kid jumped better than Classic Getaway, made quite a bad mistake. Arizona Cardinal, the Edgar Wallace, James de Berlais and Shake 'em Up Harry and Kandoo Kid the leaders now. From Chartreuse and Empire Steel, then Good Boy Bobby and wider out Ciel de Neige. Chartreuse made a very bad mistake, nearly came down, well gathered up by the jockey, but surely that one's lost all chance. They race towards the final open ditch. This is 4 out, the Edgar Wallace in the red and yellow, prominent with Arizona Cardinal, Shake 'em Up Harry, James de Berlais, and then the Kandoo Kid. Behind him is Empire Steel. Aimé Dégé's getting closer in red and white, then Grandad's Cottage in the yellow from Good Boy Bobby and Ciel de Neige wider out. Classic Getaway is going to be pulled up before 3 out, over which Arizona Cardinal led the way. Frero Bamboo just about clambered over it at the back as Arizona Cardinal will lead towards the Anchor Bridge crossing, a half a length to James de Berlais, the Edgar Wallace and Empire Steel. Then Kandoo Kid from Aimé Dégé, Grandad's Cottage, Celebre D'allen, Good Boy Bobby, Ciel de Neige, Embittered is now ridden along. Then Kille Kane and Chartreuse, Fantastic Lady, Frankie de Berlais, and behind that one is Richmond Lake, and then Your Darling loads with a chance as they turn towards home in the Topham.
and Phlegmatic being pulled up, Your Darling being pulled up, Arizona Cardinal and Kieran Gethings leading the way to James de Berlais. The Edgar Wallace on the inside, Empire Steel right there, Grandad's Cottage also on the outside, Embittered, though now being ridden along. Good Boy Bobby is coming there in the beige with the blue chevron as they jump the second last. James de Berlais in the air together with Arizona Cardinal. They're chased by Kandoo Kid on the right. The Edgar Wallace now struggling to go on. Celebre D'allen is coming through with a challenge. Beige sleeves. Aimé Deji stays on at the final fence. James de Berlais over just ahead of Arizona Cardinal. Kandoo Kid tries to rally. Celebre D'allen is chasing the front pair. Then Grandad's Cottage, Aimé Deji and Fantastic Lady, but James de Berlais in the double green going on, chased by Arizona Cardinal at the elbow. Then Celebre D'allen and Kandoo Kid back in fourth place. James de Berlais by 2.5 lengths to Arizona Cardinal as they race up towards the line. Arizona Cardinal is fighting back on the near side and beginning to get up again, and Arizona Cardinal wrests the spoils in the Topham from James de Berlais in second, tight third. Kandoo Kid on the far side of Celebre D'allen. A gap to Aimé Deji back in fifth. Then Fantastic Lady from Chantreuse and Grandad's Cottage. Empire Steel and then Richmond Lake and Embittered. Good Boy Bobby, the Edgar Wallace, Killer Kane, Ciel de Neige, Frankie de Berlais, Shake 'em Up Harry, and he may just about be the last one to finish.
And so many did. Just the one unseated rider, no fallers. Red letter day for Stuart Edmunds and Kieran Gethings. Arizona Cardinal takes the huge pot that is the Randox Topham at odds of 20-1. James de Berlais tanked through the race, tanked up the run-in, tanked round the elbow, and then the tank emptied in the shadow of the post. And Arizona Cardinal battled back gamely. Kandoo Kid has run a terrific race for a young horse in third, as Paul Nicholls suggested he might. Harry Compton riding. Celebre D'allen for the Hobbs White Nolan team has finished fourth, the 12-year-old, and the runner-up stable companion Aimé Deji has finished fifth ahead of last year's runner-up Fantastic Lady. Last year's winner was the only casualty, unseating James Byrne at the chair.
Ploughed into the chair and departed early, Bill Baxter. That's your new Aintree. We have a sheet to put mistakes and departures down. It's almost blank. There were hardly any mistakes. It was a bad mistake from Chantreuse, was it? Going down the far side. Yeah. But the winner was earmarked for this straight after his Ludlow win, where he beat a small field. The second had won twice. He's taken to Aintree mark like a duck to walk.
Orange and black colours, that's Chantreuse mistake. And that's not the most notable thing that happened after the...
that brought him to a standstill, didn't it? But yeah, notable results. A big result for Stuart Edmunds, Kieran Gethings as well. A horse who's got a really good strike rate over fence, 50% from 10 starts now. He's been winning at Utoxeter, Ludlow and Leicester. He was always to the fore, but again it was an agonising defeat for James de Berlais. We mentioned at the start of the programme, he looked like winning at Paddy Power, he got run out of it. He looked like winning at Dublin Racing Festival, he got run out of it, and a similar story today.
Horse is all okay, it seems, which is great news. It's a very different Aintree than the old school. I kind of dig it in some ways, but James de Berlais, I feel for him, Mark, because he stalked and travelled beautifully, he jumped really well, and you're coming on a testing ground Topham, wide open Topham, run at a pretty good gallop, and coming round the home turn, any one of 12 to 15 still have a bold chance.
Yeah, and he's travelling strongly as he stays under Paul Town. You could tell he's got plenty of horse underneath him. Even once they got to the elbow, he looked like he was going to hang on. It was just inside that last 75 yards he's got worn down.
Last year's, was it runner-up Fantastic Lady? She's now driven on the outside. She tried her best, but she wasn't good enough. Going really well in the red and white colours was Aimé Deji on just his fourth steeplechase. Shake 'em Up Harry was off the bridle swinging for home, couldn't go with them, and perhaps his good recent form has come to an end after that.
Interestingly, this horse who's British bred and from a terrific family as well, that Mr. Lightfoot's done very well with, the dam of Arizona Cardinal is Matine. Matine herself is a half-sister to Libertine. She was pretty good round here.
She was.
And of course her half-brother was the Gold Cup winner long run.
For the Whaley Cohen. Celebre D'allen, we should tip our hats to him. He's run here at least twice before. The Beecher Chase was too grueling for him. He's run really, really well for a long, long way. First four clear. Kandoo Kid has run an excellent race in defeat. I feel for the runner-up, but if you've backed Arizona Cardinal, you've got a horse there who's given everything.
More prize money for Mullins in second, more prize money for Nichols in third. But this is all about Stuart Edmunds and Kieran Gethings. This is a massive result for them. He's a really handy trainer, Stuart. And this is Bill Baxter, last year's winner. Just being too brave at the chair.
Yeah, cheap pieces probably just lit him up a bit, Mark, and he just took off way too early.
Yeah, took off too soon, didn't he? No chance of keeping his feet on the other side. But you mentioned big day for Stuart Edmunds. I remember a couple of years ago he won the big handicap hurdle, didn't he, on National Day?
Hometown boy.
The 3 miler, hometown boy, as you say. But yeah, a really progressive horse. Good run from Kandoo Kid, considering he's only a novice. A bit like Bill Baxter last year. I think it was only 6 run over fences today. He's run really well.
The small point, but look at it. He's got quite an ungainly gait action, this horse. He displays his off 4 out in the run. It doesn't stop him in the slightest. Won a small field race at Ludlow, but the second horse that day had won twice since, and he's clearly just been primed to perfection. James de Berlais, if you were really splitting hairs, you'd say, I wonder if he'd have just been tucked in behind a couple of horses and gone for 1 run in the last 150 yards.
I think with hindsight that would have been the thing to do. The point was he was just travelling so well, wasn't he? He jumped well, travelled well. He's taken him to the front. He's gone to win his race. Even halfway